there's always conjecture and speculation about how we select our chair. I think in this particular case, it may have been a little bit about the political leanings and the majorities being Democratic, and I'm a Democrat. I think it was more just about it was Commissioner Johnson had done it for 4 years. I did it 3 years previous to that. He did it 3 years previous to that. So it was time to change it up a little bit and just maybe have a little different energy going on. And I think and it's a fatiguing job, and so. I'm happy to be. I did seek it, and I'm happy to be back in it. It's a challenging time for sure. I don't know if I'm sure what I got myself into, but I'm up for it, and I'm excited about it.
Okay.
We get our revenues in 3 basic categories. We get them from the state and federal governments, so other governmental units is a big chunk. We get it from the property tax, which is probably a third or better, and we get about another third of our revenue from fees and services. And the biggest one people may think of as a fee for tipping garbage on the garbage burner floor. So solid waste fees. There are fees, small ones like library fines. There are small fees for different operations we have. We have a driving range, so they're out at on county property. So we get fees for services. We get fees at the service centers, a share of some of the fees for driver's licenses and things, passports, things like that. So, and real estate fees. So the revenue shortfalls are owing to all the things people read in the paper. One is the real estate transactions are down, so our real estate revenues are way down. Property tax, I think we grew about 6% last year, about 7% maybe, overall in the levy. And of course the property tax comes from a number of different kinds of properties, but residential is the one we all focus on, and then commercial industrial. Sometimes it's a bigger share comes from commercial industrial than residential. Sometimes it's more from residential than commercial industrial. So it moves that way, and so it makes for a very confusing picture to the individual taxpayer, because they think, well, the county went up 7%, how come my taxes went up 10? Well, and the answer to that is usually because commercial industrial is down that year and residential's up. Last year, commercial industrial was up, residential was down, so our 7% ended up looking like about 2 or 3 or 4% on most people. Not everyone. The lakeshore homes ended up going up, and we heard from them, but it's a very complicated, confusing system. I think our revenue at best will be flat there. It might go up a couple percent. I don't see us as being willing to. One, I think commercial industrial is going to take a hit. So I think that same 1% increase in residential for pay 2010 is probably going to look like more than that, and that's going to make it real tough for us to consider any kind of significant property tax increase for 2010. On the state and federal side, on the state side, clearly the $5.3 billion budget is, some of that is going to be visited on us. Right now we hear it's on the it's to county program aid, which is just a general aid that we get. We get some $30 million a year for that. That's going to be cut at least 15%, if not more. So we're going to have to figure out what to do with that. We distribute that amongst departments based on judgment and where we need it at the time. And it's not mandated to any one department. A lot of our state aids are mandated to departments. Corrections aid, some of the other ones, some of the human services grants and aids go to specific purposes. Those we don't know exactly how much of a hit we're going to take. And then another big one is for state shortfalls is going to be the state assistance to the Hanover County Medical Center Public Teaching Hospital. So the governor's unallotment already has resulted in some $11 million cut over there.